billion naira procurement fraud against Emefiele and his associates. Okay, so what have we got here? So in an oral application, the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Federal Minister of Justice, Mohammed Abubakar, told Justice Nicholas Owebo that Emefiele would be charged with 20 counts of procurement fraud, conspiracy, and providing corrupt benefits to his accomplices, together with a female CBN employee named Saadatu Yaro and her business, April 1616 Investment Limited. He has been detained since his removal from office on June the 9th, 2023. He is accused of giving Yaro, April 1616 Investment Limited Director, corrupt perks. All right. The speaker. Okay, so you get to get the drift, isn't it? Just check out the newspapers for the details. So the firearm charge struck out, and new charge is 20. Okay. Okay, so August the 23rd, okay, the new adjournment date. Let's wait for the courts to make pronouncements. All right, that's about the CBN governor. So much noise has, been come in the wake of the appointments, ministerial portfolios announced by the presidency yesterday. I saw the list of the appointments and I thought, wow. And I gave myself credit for making some predictions. Lipate for health. I think I did. I think I got Wale Edun. Okay. Who else did I get? Some medals for me, right? But who? New sports minister's appointment shocks stakeholders. This is the punch. Top stakeholders in the sports sector on Wednesday expressed shock over the appointment of Cross River State politician Senator John Eno as the Minister of Sports Development by President Bola Tinubu. Presidency also separated the Minister of Sports Development from Youth, unlike what it was under the previous administrations. And a former member of the House of Representatives from Etsako, Abubakar Momo, who is from Edo State, now heads the Ministry of Youth, and represented the Central Senatorial District of Cross River State in the 8th Assembly between 2015 and 2019. Before then, he was a member of the House of Representatives for Obubra, Etong Federal Constituency between 2003 and 2015. Aside from politics, available information on Eno shows he owns numerous farms where he conducts arable and livestock production, while he also runs a foundation where he provides help for people living with diabetes in Nigeria. Okay. So, they say he has no traceable connection with sports in the past. But, you see, he is Nigeria's sports minister. So, you get that. But what do we know? He probably has sporting genes that probably would, come in the coming days. But let's wait and see what Eno brings to the table. I know that, you see, appointments, I was saying to colleagues in the office, appointments are just, for me, I put the appointments on 3 lanes. First is statutory. So the Constitution says you have to appoint ministers across the nation. And then 2, for political compensation. So you have to, compensate political associates. And then the 3rd one for me, which is more important than the 2, okay, that's for me, is expertise. So you have some people who are appointed solely on the basis of expertise. They probably have, links with strong people in government, but the point is that they are coming to bring their expertise to the table. That's me, okay? So I know that these 3 options are possible in one. And I'd like to say congratulations to all of them and hope and wish that they do well. All right, so let's get to the nitty-gritty of the conversation on the program, Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. I'll go on a commercial break, but before I go there, I'd like to give you an idea of what's coming after now. Waking the Citizens segment on the program today, we're talking about the impact of rising inflation on citizens' welfare. Remember that just on the 29th of May 2023, during his inauguration, President Bola Tinubu announced that subsidy was gone. And then afterwards, some policies also brought to the table. And for instance, the floating of the naira and its attendant impact on the general economy of the nation. And whatever affects the general economy of the nation will affect the people naturally. You understand that. There's no negotiating that. So you had the inflation on the welfare of the people, the food, petrol, food, every other thing falling into place. For instance, a few days ago, the NBS announced that the national inflation had risen to 24.8% for July, the highest in 18 years, driven by higher prices of food items, increased transport fares, reflecting the increasing struggle of households to meet daily feeding needs, worsened by the impact of fuel subsidy removal and continued depreciation of the naira. Okay, so you get the drift, okay? So you know, of course, chief of those things is rice. You see, a lot of people, use rice as the basis, and that's what we are doing now. At present, the 50 kg bag of rice goes for about 42,000 naira. Meanwhile, last year it was 37. Don't forget that in 2015 or thereabouts, it was around 8,000 naira. And so you understand the drift, okay, don't you? All right, so you get it. Even jams have become, pretty expensive these days. Vegetable oil and other things. The PMS price essentially had gone from 140 to 145 to 168 or so to 195 to 200 to we even bought 280 naira at some point, 230 naira. It went to 590. It has gone to 617, 620 naira. So it has been fluctuating as well. We want to talk about how this affects you. And that's why we are bringing this conversation on Awaken the Citizens today. How are you coping? What's the coping mechanism? And what should you be doing? Those things on the table after this commercial break. It's still Talking Points on Splash FM. Please don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Kola Oremi, wetin do you?
Kunle, this fuel matter tire me.
Shebi I tell you say I just buy TVS HLS Okada with Ajo money. Now I no dey worry again about fuel because TVS HLS Okada no dey chop fuel at all. With shikini fuel, I dey work plenty. Now I dey give Mama Risika better money for soup. TVS even dash me one full carton of spaghetti when I buy my TVS HLS Okada.
Joy, them say they dash person spaghetti for this kind of time.
Dey there. On top say TVS HLS na baba for Okada. TVS go still sama you one free carton of spaghetti for every TVS HLS 125, HLS EX, even HLS KS Okada where you buy from any of their dealer office this period.
Run go any TVS dealer today. Make yourself begin the jolly.
Iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná. Ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé, lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú. Purchem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò. Ojúlówó ni, kì í bó lára, kò kì í jóná àbáàdì, kì í kán sínú, ó sì fi ni lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòǹtẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún. Bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa. Purchem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde. Olú iléeṣẹ́ Purchem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrins Compound, Fort Gate, number 122/132, Oṣòdì Apapa Expressway, Ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ bus stop, Lagos. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257. Purchem wires and cables. Ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Every morning, now better chance to carry your hustle go higher level. So, make you start your day with the correct taste of Nescafe. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Now that that you have finished SS3 exams. What's next? Enroll for A-level program at OBMS Cambridge Advanced Level College, Total Garden, Ibadan for Cambridge A-level or JUPEP A-level program. It is your best option for admission into 200 level in Nigerian universities or admission to overseas universities. OBMS A-level college is known for excellent teaching, outstanding results, affordable fees, moral and spiritual development of students, and conducive boarding facilities. At OBMS A-level college, we also offer SATs, TOEFL, IELTS, GCE, UTME, and post-UTME coaching. For more information, visit our new complex along Total Garden NTA Road, Ibadan. Website www.obmsng.com. Contact us on 0803 386 1091 and 0803 303 9588. OBMS A-level college. Excellence through integrity.
Tí o bá wà lórí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì àrídájú ìyẹn naija confam wo ẹ̀bùn 1000 naira ń dúró dè ọ́ o tún ní àǹfààní láti gba èlé ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀rún lórí èyíkéyìí rìsáàjì tí o bá ṣe àníkún dátà lọ́nà 100 fún oṣù 6 àti ìlọ́po méjì dátà lórí rìsáàjì àkọ́kọ́ rẹ ní oṣù òpó ìyẹn gangan ni nine confam látọ̀dọ̀ nine mobile tí ó yọrantí ra síìmù tuntun lónìí tàbí kí o testa 1400 hash lórí ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká rẹ nine mobile wà níbí fún ọ wà níbí fún Naija.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Titi, I'm leaving now. Make sure you use this hypo bleach sachet to wash all the clothes, clean the bathroom, mop the floors, and
Mommy, one sachet for all this plenty work?
Yes, sir. Introducing the Hypo Bleach 200 ml bigger sachet. The bigger sachet you've been waiting for. Now you can do more disinfecting, whitening, and cleaning for just 100 naira.
Bigger 200 ml hypo sachet to do more housework.
Tí o bá fẹ́ràn láti máa wo àlàyé kíkún nípa eré ìdárayá bọ́ọ̀lù aláfẹsẹ̀gbá.
Tàbí o fẹ́ràn láti máa ṣe ohun gbogbo fúnra rẹ̀.
Tí o bá fẹ́ràn eré àwàdà oníránpẹ́.
Tàbí o ò fẹ́ kí ìròyìn kan kó fò ẹrù rárá.
Tí o bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí okòwò rẹ ó gbèrú sí i.
Tàbí o fẹ́ kọ́ nípa bí a ti ṣe ń lo ohun èlò orin náà.
Ohunkóhun ìyọ́wò tó bá fẹ́ wò ló máa bá pàdé lórí YouTube.
Jẹ̀gbádùn àrà ọ̀tọ̀ dátà tí yóò fún ọ láǹfààní ìwòran fídíò lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ lónìí nípa títẹ̀ *312# bó o ṣe fẹ́ sí.
Ó ṣeun ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ó kú ìtọ́jú mi, mo sùn dáadáa, gbogbo ara mi ló jí pépé. Ìrọ̀rí tí mo gbórí lé, àfi bí ìgbà tí mo bá wà lórí afẹ́fẹ́.
Àtótónu rẹ̀ pọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ mi. A kì í dúpẹ́ ara ẹni. Ìrọ̀rí Muka dá yàtọ̀ nínú gbogbo ìrọ̀rí. Eléyìí ni wọ́n ń pè ní Crown Anti-Allergy. Oorun àlàáfíà sòséni lórí rẹ̀.
Ó tó kémi náà wá wọ̀rọ̀ kò fi ṣàdá kí n pààrọ̀ ìrọ̀rí mi. Ó tọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, àwọn dókítà tiẹ̀ sọ wípé a ní láti máa pààrọ̀ ìrọ̀rí wa láàárín ọdún kan sí méjì.
Lóòótọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀rẹ́ mi.
Ó tún gbà wo tó o ti pààrọ̀ ìrọ̀rí rẹ. Ra ìrọ̀rí Muka kó o sorun àlàáfíà.
Muka, à ń fi ìdẹ̀ra kún ìgbésí ayé ènìyàn.
Tí Nine Mobile Network Naija gangan bá jẹ́ ayọ̀ rẹ̀, èrè ńlá ń dúró dè ọ́. Nígbàkúgbà tí o bá nílò dátà sí láti wo sinimá tàbí gba oríṣiríṣi àjàbalẹ̀ eré ìdárayá, Nine Mobile wà fún ọ. Pẹ̀lú 1,500 naira péré, wàá jẹ ìgbádùn 8 gigabyte látọ̀dọ̀ Nine Mobile. O tún lè fi 9.5 gigabyte ṣe ìfàjẹ pẹ̀lú 2,000 naira péré àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Darapọ̀ mọ́ Nine Mobile lónìí tàbí kí o tẹ *301# láti yan dátà olówó pọ́kú tí o ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé. Nine Mobile wà níbí fún ọ, wà níbí fún Naija.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. I welcome the citizens, and I have in the studio with me Judith Nwokoro. She is a communication associate, Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative. Judith, good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Michael.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Okay, so that other one, that the question I wanted to start with, I'll leave it till the last. Okay, let's come to inflation, rising inflation, rising inflation, and how it affects citizens' welfare. First, tell me what you know about this situation. I know that you are a field person. Paradigm Leadership Support Initiatives also allows you to interact with the public and all that. What do you see when you talk to people? What do you feel when you engage members of the public?
So, well, basically, we are here again after about 75 days or so after the inauguration of the president. And then remember that the president, Muhammadu Buhari, then signed the Appropriation 2023 bill into law. That is subsidy supposed to go by the mid or half part of the year. So we're here, you try to strategize, we strategize, and we strategize it again about what comes to your pocket, the money you make, and what goes out of your pocket and every other thing. If you look at the different things that are happening in the country, NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress, they're protesting. Doctors are unhappy. Ordinary citizens are saying we cannot cope with this situation again if it continues. And then the government keeps saying that we should make sacrifices. And if you go to the normal street, you see what people are facing. This doesn't mean that at first, when the whole issue came about, I was thinking actually it's going to be very bad on the masses. But see the way Nigerians are coping. But that doesn't mean that this thing is actually good on its own, because people are actually suffering the impact of this fuel subsidy. Because that this subsidy issue did not start from today actually, because there are various issues battling the country and Nigeria can no longer fund subsidy. So furtherly, from 2011, 2012, early 2012, we had the fuel subsidy. That was when it even gained attention. Where people were trying to, you see the slogan, kill corruption, don't kill Nigerians. And then recently, see here, let the poor breathe, don't suffocate them. Like different things have been coming to this space because people are not happy with the situation, but at the same time, we can't continue paying the whooping sum of above 4 trillion naira on subsidy alone. So it has different impacts. Of recently, you find out that there is food inflation. Things are going high. Like you read earlier, inflation is hovering around 20% in Nigeria, 24% or thereabouts as of July. This shows the high rate of declining purchasing power. If you go to the field now, you see citizens, if you have to buy something for, let's say, like 10,000 naira, you have to cut your budget and start buying for like 5,000 naira. So there are different impacts on citizens. First, you look at the decline in purchasing power, because automatically when the price of goods increases, there is low value for your money. You can't purchase what you're supposed to purchase, and you can't live the life you really want to live. You have to, like I said earlier, you have to strategize and re-strategize about what you do. Secondly, it's going to affect our foreign investment. People won't want to come to Nigeria because the economy is not stable. Just like you read about the fluctuating naira, it goes up today, it goes down tomorrow, it's there. So it's not stable to do business. People cannot even save, because even the fixed deposit you save or long-term investment you want to make, because you don't know how it's going to affect you. The money you have now does not even have value. It also creates political and social unrest. People are always suffering. People are lamenting. And if we don't do something about it and people go to the street, we know that it can even go into another level. So the government should look into this matter and try to curb the effects on citizens, because citizens are suffering from it and the hardship is felt among all and sundry in the society.
Okay, I agree with you. The hardship is felt amongst all and sundry. And the hardship is even felt more by the people down there. You know, in Nigeria, we have language. We love to use the language beautifully. We used to have poor people in Nigeria. And so recently, we now have poorest of the poor. So you understand the meaning of the language means that sometimes when the people out here, maybe people around you in your urban centers, are lamenting the weight of the economy on them, the people in the rural areas or some people in even the urban slums and all that would be on a different level of lamentation. So for the people close to us, a bag of rice that used to be 35,000, 36,000 is now about 42,000 and all that. It means that you are essentially taking rice off the tables of a lot of people. That's one big impact that, it is a very big impact. Gari, we used to see gari as a poor man's food. It has come very high in price recently. How do you think the people should cope with the situation? Because it is not improving as you expect it to improve. How do you want Nigerians to? I will come to government. Maybe we can talk about policy tilts, policy strands to some of these things. But in the meantime, how should the people cope? The president has said we should be ready to make more sacrifice. Maybe you can tell us how much of sacrifice you think that we should make as Nigerians in order to be able to cope with the situation and maybe engage the government.
Okay. So as citizens, there's still power in your hands. Though in a situation like this, we have limited power because the government still have to make policies that affect our life. That's why at the beginning we say you should get involved, because like you read earlier, if there is a policy at the federal level, it's going to affect everybody, even in your house. Just look at the inaugural speech. Immediately the president said subsidy is gone. It started affecting everybody. From 185 fuel grid to 580, people are now buying for like 600 systems. So this shows that no matter the policy, it affects you. So citizens, now how do you cope? Like I said before, now we have to strategize and we strategize. If you really do buy, or as you read earlier, if you really do buy a rice for 30-something thousand naira, that's probably you start buying half back. I was even discussing with my colleague.
Are we not going to eat again?
Of course, we are going to eat, but like I was discussing with my colleague earlier, I was telling him that before we used to buy rice for 18,000 naira. At the time, it was 20,000 naira. I was even asked, how did you get here? That if it's this difficult for people living in the urban area, what happens to those people that depend on urgent 2K for their daily survival? Because if the people that are giving you the urgent 2K don't even have the money again, you said you cannot survive. Now think about Nigeria too, because that's why I said before any government should make policy, especially in a country like Nigeria where the poverty rate is that high, there should be a policy measure. But funny enough, we don't even have a social database system of everybody. And you said we now have the poorest of the poor. So at this point, I feel everybody should just be calm down first. Strategize. Lower your purchasing power. Like lower what you buy and know how you buy it. On a second line too, in the market, in the community, the civil organizations and every other person, the Market Women Association, the Okada riders, inside those groups, there are people that knows, that informed than the other. So this is the part where we have to do education and awareness. As at this point, now, some people don't even know the cost of the inflation. Some people don't even know what it means. Some people don't even know how to get around it. I feel we can now start educating members of the public, just like we're doing now. Then in these their clusters, they can educate each other about different policies, the effect of it, how it's going to affect us. And after this stage, that they can now form coalition with societies or civil society organizations. You can now form coalition, collaboration, and build with other civil society organizations. There are civil society organizations like PLSI. There are still others that work on accountability issue. You can now pair with them so that they can give you information you deserve. After going through that stage, the next stage you have to do is just to make research. When those things, when the people are now educated, there is a language that you use to communicate to them, and these are the language that even in the group there are people that are more educated than the other people, so they can use the language they can use to understand, to advise those ones, and then they come up to the level of collaboration with civil society organizations to work together. So when you are working individually, the result is different, and when you are working as a group. So when the individuals and the civil society organization now collaborate, we can now make researches, provide information to you. Then there will now be a need for traditional advocacy or different kind of communication channel where you'll be able to give them in a language. And then we have some kind of meetings you do. There you can now inform the representatives, the people governing you, like the House of Rep, other people. They can even come to these little town hall meetings you do. You can now bring up your ills to them.
Okay. All right. You're still talking points on Splash FM, awaken the citizens. So I like to stay in here. I like to stay on this matter. President, the government announced that it had saved, I think, almost 2 trillion naira from the removal of the subsidy. I remember that when the FEC was going to share, the FAC was going to share money. They shared a part of it and decided to keep a part of it. I think it's during his July 31st broadcast, President Bola Tinubu said that they had saved over 1 trillion naira from just removing the subsidy. So I remember that the conversation at that time was about increase in the allocation coming to states. So when you said that citizens should now form coalitions with CSOs in order to engage, I think this is the time that they need to engage the subnational more. We usually talk about the federal government a lot when we leave the states and the local governments out of it. What should citizens be doing in states at this moment?
particularly in your state, because I think there is grassroots government. That's just like what is practiced in other countries. There are some kind of allocation you don't leave at the federal, because the federal cannot come down to the state. So that's why we have the state governors and we still have the local government people at their end. So these are the people you can actually communicate with. Citizens, like I said, when they get information now, they can use it to engage their representative. When you, as an organization, let's say we partner with all these, let's say, market women or these Okada riders or different organizations that exist in, let's say, Ibadan, for example, using it as a case study, then we can now get insights. We can now look at their own feeling, put it down. Information is actually key. You can now use petition. We have press releases. We have newsletter. So one of these ways it will get to them. And also we still need patience and consistency, because reform does not just come at once. So we need to be patient and be persistent and continuous efforts, and then we can now advocate for the change we want.
All right, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Okay, so I'm still speaking with Judith Nwokoro. She's Communications Associate, Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative. All right, so what do you want to do about the rising inflation in the land and the fact that when things go up, they rarely come down? So she has talked about adjusting your purchasing strategy to maybe reduce some things, maybe increase some things and reduce some things. She talked about engagement and engagement at the level of civil society groups and engagement at the level of government. I want to bring it down further. You have local governments, and every Nigerian lives in a local government.
Absolutely.
In Nigerian states, the local governments seem to be dead, in the sense that the governors in many states, are maybe reluctant to let the local governments breathe. But what can citizens do at the very micro level? So if I cannot reach the governor at the secretariat, I can always reach my local government chairman, I can reach my ward councillor. The clusters that you talked about the other time, can young people particularly now form clusters and engage at the ward level? How do you think they can go about that?
Absolutely. I think, like we always say, that young people are actually the engine and the drive bone of the society. So at this level now, the young people, they can just gather themselves together. I said before that you can actually write a press release. We have press statements. We have a petition. We have journals. I know even if you cannot go to that level, even inside the cluster, we still have educated people inside the midst of every other person. So there are people that can write, there are people that can resource for information. That's why I said that you can actually partner with CSO. When you partner with CSO, they will give you the information you need. Just like if you look at the budget now, not everybody can interrogate the budget. Before coming here, I was looking at the 2023 budget. I was saying that you will see some issues from Ministry of Finance or some issues for the Ministry of Education. They will take it to the Ministry of Women Affairs. So it's just scattered that if you are not in the system, you might not be able to engage with this document. So you now have to rely on some document that has been simplified to be used to do that. So that's why I said you can now partner with CSOs. You can read journals, you can read magazines, then you can now write to your local government and say, or whenever you are doing meeting or there is any function you are doing in that particular cluster, you can now invite whoever you want to invite, be it your local government chairman, because everybody belongs to a local government, be it whoever you want to invite. After you invite that person, you bring out what you want the person to do. And then because you have elected that person to serve you for that purpose, the person can now take this matter to the governor to address it.
Okay. All right. There's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. You'd like to talk to me, right? Okay, so I'll open the phone lines in a moment. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. Those are the numbers. Okay, so you can catch us live on YouTube. We're running live on YouTube, okay? Just type in Splash FM 105.5. You will find us there. I have a caller here. Let's see if we can deal with this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Safa Sunday, and I'm speaking from the Olagun area.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sunday. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. About the rising level of inflation in Nigeria. Sir, You know, one thing, sir. There is one policy in economics. Beggars my neighbor policy. You see, IMF body. They are body that belongs to. It is a body that belongs to powerful nations of the world, like America, Britain, and so on. So they are now using this policy. That is, if Nigeria, our policymaker, if they can just probably ignore getting loan or grant from IMF, I'm telling you, Nigeria will be better off. You see, they use this policy. That is, they promise Nigerian policymakers that, come, we give you credit, we give you loan, but do this to your economy. Devalue your naira, do this. So those are policy. Because Nigeria has told they see Nigeria as a begging nation. So that is why they are using the policy to pull Nigeria down. If our policymakers can just look at least the masses, the people on the soul, their wealth that the nation needs to build the economy. But our government, I just don't know why.
Okay.
So then inflation, the level of inflation, the hike in fuel price, whether directly or indirectly, it has probably disengaged many Nigerians from the economic aspect.
All right, thank you.
Because most people are not they're doing nothing.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling,
so
sir.
That is why the the inflation level is on the higher point.
Thank you very much for calling, sir.
Than
Thank you for calling,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
All right. Okay, so it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Okay. He talked about the inflation and all that. I'm not sure whether citizens can do anything about it, but they told us that you have a fluctuating naira, inflation will rise and all that because you are not a producing nation. Okay, so how do you make this country a producing country? We always have this argument. What exactly is wrong? Why can't we produce, particularly make agriculture count? Nigeria has millions of hectares of arable land, and we seem not to be able to feed ourselves. Remember, the president even declared the state of emergency on food and all that recently. Why is it that we can't feed ourselves? I will come back to you on that matter. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Evangelist Ajani. I'm a prophet.
Yes, sir.
And I'm 93 years old.
Oh, wow.
Now, people have been making mistakes. They made the first mistake. And this government is making the same mistake. They are putting cart before the horse. If you want to take away all subsidies, why don't you make sure the Dangote refinery is working? And then the other refineries, the companies that are refining, are also in place. Then you can do away with subsidy. Now look at it, comparison. When the subsidy was being there, we were buying fuel for 160 naira per litre. Now you take away for subsidy. Look at where we are. The same thing with the same mistake he made when he said he printed out a new naira note. If they could have allowed the new naira note and the other one go side by side until you can face out the old naira. You don't give time limit, So these are mistakes they have made. And it's a pity. I just pray for them.
Thank you very much for calling, sir. Okay, so, well, he said he prays for them. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Commercial break on the program, Talking Points on Splash FM. I'll be back in a moment.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids the new Milo 3-in-1. Milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Uncle Dentist, what are cavities and how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
My baby is 6 months old. Oh my! 6 months old? Wow! Now your baby needs more than breast milk. It's time to introduce mashed meals. In addition to breast milk, begin to give your baby mashed meals that contain at least one item from each of these 5 food groups: eggs, fish or meat, fruits and vegetables, oils, beans, groundnuts, soya or millet, rice, potato, maize or yam from 6 months. In addition to breast milk, your baby needs this combination of food types to grow healthy. This message is from the Anring Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
Disneyland! Here I come!
You too can win an all-expense-paid trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnets promo. Buy the Indomitable 70-gram pack and find the Golden Magnets inside. Visit indomie.ng/Golden Magnets promo to enter your details and unique code. Golden Magnets winners will experience the magical wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnets winners can also win amazing prizes. Get your favorite Indomitable Magnets with every Indomitable pack you buy during this promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Charlie, how did you fuel your car? Man, it's Verve to the rescue. Really? Oh, yes. Verve is rewarding thousands of people with free fuel when they rent, support, school fees, electricity payment, and loads of money for a free shopping spree. To qualify for a chance to win, just do at least 2 additional transactions with your Verve card weekly. The more you transact, the more your chance of winning. Promo runs from August 3rd to January 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Ask your bank for a Verve card today. Verve. Enjoy the good life.
It don't land again, oh! Alert 5 for 5 promo don't land. It turned up for grand gidigba than before. Now over 90 million naira day for grand to win, oh! No miss this season of jollification. To qualify, land your account with 5,000 naira. Maintain average account balance with at least 5,000 naira every month. Do minimum of 5 transactions every month for alert or next star 945 hash on top your phone. You know pass so. They among the people will go be 1 million naira richer. Oh yeah, download alert today or forward bar transaction without internet on top star 945 hash anytime, anywhere. Terms plus condition deo. Weber Bank, we deal with you, Gidigba, all the time.
Glory to God! Heart Enlargement Special is here. The Standing Church International invites you to a 2-day powerful encounter with God. Dates: Friday 25th and Saturday 26th August 2023. Time: 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. Venue: the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. Ministering: the visionary Manifold Grace Ministries. There will be miracles, healings, salvations, and deliverances. Come and receive a touch from God that will change your life forever. See you there.
Enlargement Special ti dé o. Ǹjẹ́ o fẹ́ ìwòsàn, ìgbàlà, ìtúsílẹ̀ àti ìyanu tí ó yí ayé rẹ padà? Ìjọ The Standing Church ń pe ìwọ àti ẹbí rẹ fún ìpàdé alágbára ọlọ́jọ́ méjì nì pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ní gbọ̀ngàn International Conference Center ICC Fásitì Ìbàdàn ni ó ti wáyé ní ọjọ́ Friday 25th àti Saturday 26th ní oṣù tí a wà yìí. Agogo 8 àárọ̀ àti agogo 4 ọ̀sán ni yóò máa wáyé. Máa bọ̀ fún ìyípadà ọ̀tun ayé rẹ.
It's a new dawn in the world of education as West Midlands Open University WMOU, a new online university, receives licensing approval to offer degree granting programs in Nigeria. WMOU is bringing university education close to you in faculties of business, social sciences, and various courses like accounting, business management, economics, and lots more to choose from. Our courses are flexible and you get to choose your learning environment, which allows professionals and anyone in the workforce to further their education with ease. Flexible payment options are available, but various other ways to make studying with us more affordable. Enroll at WMOU to get that degree today. For more inquiries and updates, follow us on any of our social media platforms at WMOU Nigeria on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On LinkedIn and YouTube, it's West Midlands Open University. Admission date for the September session will be announced soon, so get ready. WMOU, another first in the Ibadan's educational history.
Welcome, Daddy. What would you like to have?
Give me afang and the correct swallow.
How about you, Auntie?
Egusi and the better swallow.
You call my sister Menjeda and the correct swallow, right?
You know what's up. Golden Penny Semovita.
That's right. Golden Penny Semovita is my soup's first choice. Made with premium wheat and enriched with vitamins. It's the right combo for Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
It's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Welcome the citizens. 0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678, and 0706-949-3000. As a citizen, what do you think you ought to do this moment to adjust to the rhythm of the time? Okay. That's the question, okay? All right, so let's engage. I still have Judith and the team from Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative. Well, essentially, they are the civil society team that, you know, they're on ground. So there are so many other accountability civil society groups that you can coalesce with so that you can get questions answered. We have a new Minister for Agriculture. Anyway, he has not been inaugurated. I think I see that the president will be inaugurating them, on Monday or so. But this man called, I think it's Abubakar Kyari, right? Abubakar Kyari is the Minister for Agriculture and Food Security. I was talking about agriculture the other time. I said Nigeria has hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of arable land, hectares of arable land, and we still can't feed ourselves. What's going on? What do you think we should do?
There are two sides we need to look at this issue. First, Nigeria needs to look at investment and science when it comes to agriculture. Okay. Agriculture at this point now is not about subsistence farming, because even if you date it back to the old time, the ancient age, Nigerians, we do subsistence agriculture. People feed for just themselves and family. So when you have to feed for the whole growing population, it's a different thing altogether. So now we have to fix various infrastructure in place. Ideally, Nigeria is supposed to produce food that will be enough for many people. At least we have a population, we have the land, and we still import a good number of food products. And that is very wrong. But if we want to look at it in the recent, there are various infrastructure that needs to be put in place for people to be able to farm. For example, look at the fact of insecurity. People don't go to farm again because of the fear of being killed. If you look at the whole things that have been happening in the north, I think it's even one of the reasons why there is even food inflation. Because people that farm for us, they are scared of going to the farm because of either bandits, terrorists, unknown gunmen. If you go to the southeast, and people stay in their houses because of unknown gunmen. If you go to the north, there's bandits and terrorism, and people don't want to come out. Secondly, we can look at the fact that most Nigerians still practice subsistence farming because people just farm for themselves. There is no power. There is no mechanized system of agriculture. So how can you produce for a large growing population with this kind of system? So this is also a an area where the Minister of Agriculture needs to look into. If Nigeria wants to produce for its growing population, that means we must look into innovation, science and infrastructure. We need to look at our road. There are no good roads in Nigeria. Even if you have the product, how do you market it? How do you send it from, let's say, Ibadan to Abuja? Because the train needs to start working, the road, the railway needs to start working, so this produce can be moved easily without any issue. So it is until all these aspects, the roads, the infrastructure, the power, and every other aspect is look like. That's when we can now be sure of this is what we're doing. For example, if you look at perishable goods like, let's say, banana and plantain, most of them get spots even during the season. That's why in Nigeria, you see, during this season, we have this thing at multiple. Then after the season, we start looking for where to buy it again. Because there's even no way to store. There's no adequate storage facilities. So we need to look at our infrastructure and handle it very well so we can be able to look into agriculture and produce for the growing population. And I think this is a very good place to go because it will even help us to be less dependent on fuel and look into agriculture too.
All right, so before I let you go, I want to go back to citizens' civic engagement.
Okay.
For instance, I know that Oyo State has done something in the last couple of years. There's this participatory budgeting, in Oyo State where citizens are, put together and then the budget is discussed and the rest of it. It looks like a lot of us are not interested in these things that, have direct bearing and impact on us. So when the budget is being put together, you see very few people. When the House of Assembly is debating a bill or something, you see very few people attending to observe. By the way, a lot of people don't even know that at the House of Assembly, there is allowance for citizens to come and watch the proceedings at the House. Yeah, sure. We need to tell people this, and I'm asking you to tell citizens to be more awake and alert to these things that are going on around them.
Definitely. So you see, like we always say, information is actually key. And most people will now say that Nigerians don't care about information. But at the same time, you don't blame Nigerians because I would always say that the government is just like a social contract. What's the essence of government? For the social welfare and security of the people. So when government is not fulfilling these two important sides, people tend to lose trust. So we can't even trust them. So we can't even want to even participate in anything concerning the government. But in the same way, what happens will still affect us too. So citizens should try and get engaged. We still have the citizens' budget. There you have everything simplified. There are diagrams, there are infographics, there is roads, there is different kind of things. Even in Oyo State, for example, they have the documents online where you can be able to assess the government's performance. They talked about the road that is constructing, the ones that are done. They have ongoing projects, they have completed projects. You can actually look into all these things. So when the time for going through those things come about, you can have information to engage the government because the government cannot work without your participation. You need to participate to make the government work for you.
All right. The convenient spot to, adjourn for adjournment, okay? The convenient spot to adjourn and return on Monday. On the program, Talking Points is here. Thanks to Judith Nwokoro from Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative and Taiwo as well for showing up again today. Thanks to you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Mike.
All right, so you heard it. Engage as a citizen. Ask questions. Make contributions when you should so that your voice will count. I hope you know that your voice is important. So if your voice or your vote was important during election, after election, your voice should be important. Get the voice back and use the voice. And please, use the voice peacefully and in a civil manner. Just engage and ask questions, okay? And then also contribute. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. I'd like to ask you to do everything within your power to make this nation better. Please don't dump refuse in the waterways. As soon as I leave now, about the news update at 4 o'clock, game on. Afterwards and at 5 o'clock, Splash Rendezvous will take the airwaves. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Baby, you look happier, you do. Filling your days with happiness.
Wanna paint you a picture and tell them that I need you. Cause you are my addiction. To love you is my mission. Don't know how I'm feeling, but I feel I really need you. A perfect bad behavior. Wanna serve you like religion.
Omega, Alpha, and Theta. When I start to calculate, from before, but I see now. See the universe, they ovulate. Up and down roller coaster. All the gas with me, inflate. One more in me, woo, one in me, cool. Bring me the vex, take me to school.
I need some